Hey guys, I'm Mad Morta, and in this video I'm going to be showing off my custom GameCube themed original 3DS. So this is a purple 3DS that I rehoused into a $30 aftermarket housing that I got off of eBay. And you can see that I have engraved the GameCube logo, and it says Nintendo GameCube down below. It's a lot easier to see in person than it is on the camera for some reason. It's a very bright, sparkly silver where the logo is, as opposed to the darker purple. And the reason that it's this weird silvery color is because this is an aftermarket shell. It's not the original 3DS one. And I actually tried doing this on the original 3DS one and it was barely visible. It didn't look good. But on here, the aftermarket one, I got this awesome sparkly gray from engraving it, and it's perfectly smooth. You can't even feel that there's a logo there. So it looks really professional, I guess. It didn't come out perfect, but I'm not going to complain about it because it's a GameCube themed 3DS and I've wanted one forever. So here are the L and R buttons. You can tell that they're a light gray, similar to the GameCube controller. And this 3DS used to be a Cosmo Black 3DS, and when I was taking it apart, I realized that the inside of the Cosmo Black 3DS is actually this light gray here. The inside of the purple one is just a lighter purple, so you can't do this with the purple shoulder buttons, but with the Cosmo Black ones, if you take some 600 grit sandpaper and just sand the paint off, you get this light gray, and you still get to keep the L and R lettering because they're indented, so that was pretty cool. And probably most excitingly, on the inside here, I have some custom molded A, B, X, Y, and D-pad buttons. I hope you can see here, I think that they came out pretty well, and you can see very faintly that those little lines that were on the original D-pad still show up, but they're pretty faint and you don't really see them unless you're looking for them. Same with the letters on the ABXY buttons. They're there, but they're pretty faint. I did actually try molding some buttons with indented letters like the GameCube controllers have. I hope you can see that. And they came out okay, but not great, and I thought that overall I liked the smoother look rather than the indented look, because the X button in particular is impossible to get right, so I just decided to leave these buttons. They look pretty smooth and boring, but better than a wonky X button, I guess. So the silicone that I used for the molds is called Oomoo 30, and I cannot rant about it enough. It is so cool, so detailed. It's just phenomenal stuff. So high quality that if you actually make a mold of some GameCube buttons, you better find some really lightly used GameCube buttons, because all those micro scratches are going to show up in your cast, which is crazy. I never thought that that would be possible, but it does. So you have to find good condition buttons. And for the cast, I actually used EasyCast epoxy resin. It's basically a two-part mix that turns into a clear plastic, and you can color it using pretty much whatever you want. I started by using some food coloring that I got at the dollar store, and that worked pretty well, but you get translucent colors with those, and so I moved on to acrylic paints to get these colors. And I think that overall, compared to a GameCube controller, it's not bad. I have a GameCube controller here for color comparison. It's not in very good shape, but I think that the A button was by far the hardest color to get right, but I think I did a pretty good job. I mixed some green and blue cheap 50-cent acrylic paint from Walmart and got a color pretty comparable to the A button. So I guess I will be demoing with some Smash Bros, because what better to demo a GameCube themed 3DS on than Super Smash Brothers. I found that putting the computer on a higher level just made the matches longer, so I put it on 4, which I know is not very impressive, but I just wanted to show that the buttons are responsive and pretty much just like the old ones. So I actually used a 1-part mold for these. It wasn't complicated. I just taped the 3DS buttons to the bottom of a little plastic cup using some double-sided tape, and then I just poured the silicone on top of it, and then I poured the resin in, and that was pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to it. But I had a huge amount of fun with casting things, and also with my laser cutter so far. Laser engraver, I'm sorry. And so hopefully I'll be doing more mods involving those, but so far here's a pretty good combination of both, I think. And I have wanted one of these forever. Ever since the purple 3DS came out, I've wanted a GameCube themed one because I love the GameCube, and it's just so cool. So I'm really glad that I did this project. I think this was kind of a dream for me that I finally get to table. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for my next video.